This is Lama Tantrapa. Welcome to the Secrets of Qigong Masters, the talk show brought to you by Academy of Qidao, the first and only school in the world offering professional education in Tai Chi and Qigong coaching. To find out about the programs offered by Academy of Qidao, and to learn how you too can become a certified Tai Chi or Qigong coach, please go to academyofqidao.com. This show is also brought to you by Mastery Magazine, the sponsor of the Summit of Qigong Masters, bringing to you some of the top experts in Qigong in North America. Today, I'm delighted to introduce to you Erick Salgado, who is known for being a champion in karate and kickboxing in his native country of Brazil, as well as a Pan-American champion. And he's also the founder of a company called Builderall.com. As you can see right behind him, there is the big sign on the wall. It says Builderall. Thank you, Erick, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to share with us your knowledge and wisdom today.
It's my pleasure to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
And of course, you are a perfect example of how a martial artist, a black belt, can become a very successful entrepreneur. As a matter of fact, you shared with me that you are planning on writing a book on being a black belt entrepreneur. And I think that this is a fantastic opportunity for us to dive right into this subject.
All right, awesome. Yes, and the way I see, I have been doing martial arts since I was 10, and I trained it every single day until I was 30. It was like 20 years training. And I have no doubt that the martial art was fundamental for my business and the way that I run my business and the way that I keep going and doing. And for me, Lama, it was way more important than high school and then any other things that I did in the past. Like my school, what actually created my character, what I am, it was the martial arts training.
For sure. I can totally relate to that because I started doing martial arts even before I was 10, and that was basically my lifestyle. Now, when people get involved in the martial arts training these days, they rarely get into this lifestyle of training hard every day, going the old school route, so to speak. There is the new school that is more popular these days, where you take 1 or 2 classes a week and test for a green belt, brown belt, black belt. In a couple of years, you get a black belt. Usually nobody really has the same attitude that you and I and people of our generation and before us had when we went through our training. But of course, our fathers and grandfathers were talking the same way, that you whippersnappers, you don't have it as hard as we had, so we are the old school. So what can you say about this idea of old school versus the new school?
Well, just like you said, the perception is crazy because the old guys will say that we were like soft. But for what I'm saying now, especially living here in the United States, it's really, really hard to find. I'm not saying that it doesn't have, but it's not that common to find martial arts the way that it should be, because people are a little bit more afraid of hurting themselves, of hurting one, and they are always afraid about suits and insurance and all those things. And come on, martial arts, it's martial arts, right? You probably will get hurt a little bit. Those things happen. Like, for example, I don't have any teeth. Like, I lost all of them. And I broke, yeah, man, it was crazy. I broke 2 ribs, I broke my knee, I broke all the fingers in my hands and my feet. And it was just like crazy, but that was the thing that I was passionate, and we always want to go a little bit more to the extreme. And what I was doing in Brazil, I just can't find here in the United States. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's the right way to do it. Maybe I don't know. but it's not like it was anymore. And when we are talking about like doing martial arts for your character, for like to work with yourself and to go a little bit further and to work with your spirit, I think we have to do some sacrifices. I think we need a little dose of pain, and some things has to hurt because otherwise it will be too easy. And the most dangerous thing is what if you really need your martial arts skills and you haven't? Like, what if you think you are a black belt and you have this out confidence, and when you actually need, you will figure it out that, oh man, I'm not that good, right?
Right.
So I think that's dangerous.
Absolutely. And it's also dangerous for another reason. Most martial artists that I've met over the last 20, 25 years of living in the United States
Mm-hmm.
hurt themselves a lot more than they get hurt by other people. In their own training, they hurt themselves. It's not like you knocked your own teeth out.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't break your own fingers. You were training for fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, nowadays, most martial artists don't lose their teeth or fingers in fighting. They hurt themselves by overstretching, by hitting something too hard, or by doing some silly moves that basically mess them up. And so that's something that is a very interesting thing, because when you train really hard, the likelihood of yourself hurting yourself is very small.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall hurting myself unless I was showing off. When I was young and stupid, I would show off. And I would either hurt myself or somebody else. Almost every time I showed off. So I just decided, you know what, it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped hurting myself. I'm not showing off, I'm not hurting myself. It's like a really clear cause and effect connection.
Mm-hmm.
You may have experienced something like that.
I always hurt it. I got hurt a lot, but it was always fighting, and it was like a committee. We were fighting for one of them should be knocked out. So you are actually fighting someone who's going to be standing on in the end of the fight. This is the most, uh, um, I guess, this is the biggest experience that you can have on the martial arts. Having one opponent, you have to fight until one of you guys get knocked out. So that's the way that I sometimes I got hurt.
The
Because
last man standing wins.
yeah, I know that. Crazy stuff. But I was passionate. It's just like driving a motorcycle. You know, sometimes you fall, you get hurt, but you love that thing. You keep doing. Nobody understands, but
Everybody says it's crazy, it's dangerous, you may get killed. Yeah, but it's exciting.
yeah.
But there is also this character development where you learn how to overcome adversity, where you learn how to roll with punches, quite literally. You learn how to overcome losing. On occasion, you will lose, probably. I don't know what your score was when you were competing, but I would imagine you didn't win 100% of time, did you?
No. I guess in my whole career, I got more than 300 championships, and I lost like 5 fights in my whole life. But I lost some.
That is an incredible score.
I was good, man. Like it was training 5, 6 hours a day, every single day. I was the national team. I was pretty good back there.
Well, obviously, it takes that training to be that good. Now, how does this training, how did this training shape your character? How would you say it helped you forge your spirit?
Yeah, one thing that I see, some things I see, it's like essential for my life as an entrepreneur on martial arts is results are not fast. Like you gotta do this thing for years. It's not gonna happen. You start doing a martial art, and after one year, you're gonna become a fighter. No, It's something that you are going to start something cool after 3 years. That's one thing. So you have to learn how to wait. Two,
Patience.
you have to do the same thing almost every day. It's practice, like same thing. Man, I'm telling you, it was like doing those the same movement 1,000 times a day until you're perfect, until it becomes part of you, right? So you have to do that thing like the routine, same thing every day until until you're perfect. The thing. And most important all is different of like soccer, basketball, volleyball, and all those things. When you're a fighter, you are by yourself. You're gonna get into a fight. You have it's a competition. Everybody's friends. It's all good, but when the fight starts, it's you and no one else, and you have to do it. You have to get it. Sometimes you are afraid, sometimes you're not afraid, but sometimes you know the guy is bigger than you. Sometimes you have to work with strategy, sometimes you have to work with just power, speed, and all those things. But it's all about you, what you can do. In that time, when you are fighting, you can count only with yourself. So in every single fight, you have like 2 minutes or 3 minutes to bring everything that you have in once in those 2 minutes or 3 minutes because that's your only shot. It's about you. It's about what you can do. The other guy wanna do the same. The other guy wanna beat you. So it's like 3 minutes, all or nothing, and you can count just with yourself. And I think most of the times, business and business decisions and day by day is very, very likely the martial arts training and competitions and all those things.
Right. So you developed a certain level of self-reliance and self-confidence that perhaps is hard to come by if you don't engage in this type of training. And you also, as far as I understand, develop a certain strategic way of looking at things, even though everything is happening really fast in a very condensed amount of time, just a couple of minutes. But in this amount of time, you actually have to use certain strategies. It's not just you throwing punches hoping that you're going to hit them. You actually are maneuvering, you are paying attention, maybe setting things up. So in a sense, there is a mind game on top of the physical game. And this mind game probably also applies to business just as well.
Yeah, true.
Now, how about competitiveness? People who do martial arts competitively often develop this level of competitive attitude that may help or sometimes may hinder them in business. What would you say was your experience with that?
Yeah, man, competitive. It's something like I live for competition. It's something that you gotta do it. Like the, the whole the whole reason for leave is different. Like some people say, yeah, that's what really matters is to compete. No, not really. What really matters is be the best as you can do. Do your best. Like there is nothing wrong if you are losing. There is nothing wrong if you are the second best. But you have to compete like every day to be the best that you can do, right? So it's hard to get this idea of like I lost that fight, but I beat myself. Like I was better than I was last time. I did everything that I could. Like I got some punches and I kept fighting. I kept fighting. So uh, competition, man, is something that all the martial artists will live for that. If you are really passionate, you live for competing. But you have to know that your biggest challenge is to beat yourself. Like every day, you have to be a little bit better. Every day, you have to compete with yourself. Because eventually, you're going to be so good. You're going to be better and better and better and better and better that you're going to be so good. Then you're going to be good, better than anyone else because you never quit winning this competition with yourself. And this is something that you have to do like every day, all the time, every day, all the time. You can always do a little bit further. You can always stretch a little bit more. You can always give one more punch. And this is how you get it. This is how you get it.
Right. And together with competitiveness, um, we also develop certain degree of perfectionism. So
Hmm.
we want to basically compete with ourselves, perfect ourselves, make ourselves stronger, faster, and somehow else better. How does that apply to business?
Well, totally apply because uh, even in business is even worse because in business there is no place for the second one. You gotta be the best. Like when you are fighting, when you are doing this as a sport or something that you want to do, you can go to a competition and maybe you can come back home with a second place medal or something like that. And that means a lot. For example, if you are on Olympic Games and you get the second place, that's a big deal. That's huge, right?
Right.
But when you are doing business, man, second place is never enough. You gotta do better. You gotta do right. You gotta be the best because even today with the internet in like it's easy for people change companies, change services, changing everything. There is a lot of people offering services and products. Like the whole marketplace is very saturated. So the way I see, maybe it's not something that people will agree with me, but the way I see it, maybe because of the martial arts, there is no place for the second one. You gotta be the best, you gotta be perfect, you gotta work hard and hard and hard, you gotta make it right, because for my view, on business, there is no place for the second one.
Fantastic. Well, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I would also say that perfectionism sometimes is the way to shoot ourselves in the foot because often a person who's, especially when they're starting out the business and they want to just make it perfect from the very get go,
Mm-hmm.
they procrastinate because it's not perfect. And
Mm-hmm.
so they put it off or they don't feel confident that this is good enough. And so the idea of just minimal viable product is too scary to many people who are perfectionists.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how does that sound to you? Does it sound like it's a reasonable approach or it's something that you would stay away from?
No, that's totally true because the perfect thing you have to think like because it's never gonna be perfect, right? Like never.
Right.
It's just like never gonna be.
There's
So
always
think
room for improvement,
yes.
just like in
So
martial arts.
think about it's perfect today, right? So today I did right. It's good. It's perfect. Tomorrow I can do something different. I can make it better. But today we are good to go. We are perfect. And if you are waiting to be perfect to launch something, man, forget it. You're never gonna launch anything because you will never going to achieve something that's perfect. I don't know any business or any product that's like 100% perfect.
Right.
You have to keep going. You have to try like every day. You have to pursue the perfect. But man, go for it. What's matter is it's perfect today. Yes, so let's do it.
Right. So the finding that balance between perfection on the one hand and uh, being too lazy to pursue perfection on the other hand, kind of finding that sweet spot where you're not too hard on yourself, but at the same time, you're not lazy. Finding that sweet spot that allows you to really identify when is the right time to launch something, whether it's a business or a product or a service. And you've launched more than one business, a number of businesses.
Mm-hmm.
How did you transition from doing martial arts 4 or 5 hours a day to becoming a businessman?
Well, after I was 30, I was actually training and teaching. I had my own gym in all those things.
Right.
And then I don't know how I suddenly decided to sell my gym. It was like a big academy in Brazil, And I sold and I built a newspaper company. It was like my first contact with the internet and all those things. And then,
Newspaper company.
yeah, I started with a newspaper. And since I started working with a newspaper, that took me like 24 hours a day. I actually stopped training because, in Brazil, right now, the good fighters, they are making a lot of money. But back there, it was almost impossible to make some money fighting. I was like the Brazilian team. I was a very, very good fighter there, but no money at all. Then I had to work, and then I made my decision. So after I started with my newspaper company and then working with newspapers and later internet and all those things, I changed my focus. So today I don't want to be like Olympic champion anymore. Today I just want to be Erick. I want to take care of my kids. I want to have my kids training. Alvaro trains jiu-jitsu as well. So, and I do jiu-jitsu just like because I really need fighting. I really needed that the feeling, that adrenaline. I need to do that. But now it's not more 5 hours a day. I'm doing like 4 hours a week, and that's more than enough for me right now. I'm getting old, man. I guess that's it.
How old are you?
I'm 44.
44. You're younger than me. All right. So, what we do in business obviously requires certain degree of perseverance, and I would say resilience,
Mm-hmm.
because resilience is that ability to take your lumps, and even if you get beat down, you get back up on your feet and you keep going.
Exactly.
How did you develop that quality of resilience, and how did it apply to business?
Well, just like I said, this is something that I've been doing since I was 10. Like resilience training, and sometimes you get beaten. Sometimes, like I said, I broke all my teeth, I broke my nose, I broke everything, but I always kept fighting. One of the championship that I won, it was the national championship. I broke my rib on the final, and I kept fighting. I won the fight, and then once it was something that you can't explain. But I was standing until the end, and I won the fight. Once I won the fight, I failed. Like poof, it was pain so much, man. I failed. I woke up on the hospital later with the medal. Crazy thing, right? But something that it's a energy or it's a force or something that keeps you standing, and you grow cultivating this thing, right? So nobody like a real fighter, you're not going to put this guy on the floor with a simple punch or slap or something like that. You really have to do something that it's powerful to put one good fighter on the floor. If you're not a fighter and I put you in the face, you're going to go to the floor and maybe you're going to quit. You're going to get so scared that it's a knockout, and actually it's not. It's just like on your mind, right? But when you are a fight, someone has to be really, really, really good to get to knock it out. So because you don't fall, you are trained to do that, and that becomes part of you. And when you are doing a business and you have this inside, man, you keep going and going and going, because in the business world, things are going to go wrong. You're going to get some problems. You're going to get some hard time. Nothing is going to work as planned. Never, never, nothing's going to work as planned. Business will be way more complicated than you think. And that's just punches that you are receiving, and you are standing and getting better and learning. And eventually, you're going to keep for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And then when you see you learn in your business, you're learning everything about it. You learn it with your mistakes, you learn it with the punches that you got it, and you're gonna get stronger. And as you keep in business, every single year you are stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And I think that's the secret, man. Like fighters, we don't quit, right? You have to get knocked out, and that's not easy. So if you can bring this to your life in every single aspect, like with your kids, with the education of your kids, with your business, with people that you are helping, with your employees, with everybody, we just don't quit. We just like keep going and try to get better and better and try to learn. I think that's something very very important that we learn from the martial arts.
Absolutely. Now, how about the other way? Would you say that there are some lessons that you learned from business that also could be applied to martial arts practice?
I don't know. Maybe I did so much more than martial arts than the business, and I don't think I am the kind of big deal in business yet. So
You're a
my
founder of
experience.
one of the best platforms in the world called Builderall, so I think you're a big deal, man.
I don't know about it, but I would tell you, for me, I got so much more for the martial arts to put on my business. At least for now, I don't consider myself like big deal. So I didn't learn that much with the business yet to change something on my martial arts practice.
Well,
So
modesty definitely is an important trait of character. So I think you did just demonstrated that. And I would also wonder, like, for example, in my personal experience, when I was focusing on martial arts, and like you, I spent 20 plus years, 25 years doing martial arts full time. It was my bread and butter. Basically, that was what I did most of the time throughout the first 25, 30 years of my life. But I was an asshole. I was not a pleasant person to be around. I mean, I had friends, and my friends respected me, but if somebody disrespected me, I would just kick their ass because I was so impatient and sometimes very tempered. Like, and I literally had to become a Tibetan Lama. I literally had to be put in a totally different environment where I was not supposed to fight. You don't fight Tibetan Lamas, you meditate with them. And that I actually had to let go of a lot of that hot-headedness and develop a more modest temper and perhaps a more balanced character. Well, and when I went to business, I realized you have to be even more patient with people. And you have to be even more careful in your relationships. And you have to be even more true to your word when you talk to somebody and promise them anything. And so I would say that it was a revelation to me that I did not learn from martial arts. Now, were there any revelations that you experienced of that kind?
well, I guess very close to that because when you are doing martial arts, you are training yourself, and then you're gonna get to a fight, you're gonna get a competition, and that's all about you when you are training martial arts. But in some stage, you're gonna start teaching people how to train, right? And I think that's where related to the business and people who's working with you, because when you are training, you are dealing, like when you are teaching, you are dealing with people's what they are afraid, like they don't want to do everything they can, or they are afraid of hurting themselves, or they are afraid of hurting anyone else, or they are afraid of doing their best, or they're not just like lazy and this kind of stuff. And when you are a teacher, when you are a coach, you learn how to bring the best from people. And this is what we try to do here on the company. We always man try to bring the best from people. We always try to make them like fighters inside our company. You know, I think that's very important. But this is something that I didn't learn training. I learned it when I start teaching, and I think that's very important as well. You have to train a few years, and it's amazing experience if you can teach someone how to become a martial artist or fighter or something like that, because it's going to help you on your business. It's going to help in dealing with people. You will eventually see that it's not everybody is as fast as you can or can learn as fast as you can, or have the same speed or power or strength or all those things, and you're gonna learn how to work with those different type of persons and bring the best from them. And definitely, this is something that you can use in business.
Yeah, it basically help people capitalize on their strengths and empower their weaknesses. And in a sense, I agree that when you work with people in the company who are your subordinates, who are your employees, it's almost like you're training them to become martial artists because you basically are training them to do their best at what they are assigned to do, the particular skills that they perhaps need to learn, and then just keep doing that. It's like Bruce Lee said, I don't fear somebody who does 10,000 kicks. I fear somebody who does one kick 10,000 times. So your employees have to do 10,000 repetitions of that which they are supposed to do in their position in your company. And then they develop certain mastery.
And one thing that's very important, especially here in this company,
Yeah.
when you are a martial artist like yourself, so you have this self-confidence. You know what you are capable of. So after a few years, after you know exactly who you are, you're not gonna go into any fight because you know what you can do. Like you have the responsibility, and you have to say no sometimes and say yes. Oh, all right, you are right. I'm wrong. I'm just living. It's gonna be best this way because you have the confidence. You already know who you are. You already know the truth. You don't have to beat the guy to prove yourself that you are wrong. Right. Same thing in the business, especially when we are dealing with people. So you are working on the company, you know what you're doing, you know your product, you know you are trying to do the best. And a company like ours, we have like 40,000, 47,000 people using our platform. And sometimes you get like crazy people coming to us and complaining and saying a lot of bad stuff. And sometimes it's hard to deal with that thing, but everybody here knows what we are doing. We are always trying the best. We always want to help. We always want to do what is right. Sometimes people get frustrated, but we have to deal with that. We have to receive this thing, breathe, and then give back in a good way. So I would tell you that for everybody on the company, learn a little bit more about martial art would be excellent because we gotta learn how to receive, and understand what's happening and then give the right response. That's very cool.
One of the things that I would imagine also is that you have some advice or some suggestions to those listeners of our show who are practicing martial artists. Maybe they're already instructors. Maybe they're thinking about going into business for themselves or becoming entrepreneurs. What would you recommend or suggest to them?
All right, so I will give you an advice because I did wrong and I'm trying to fix it. Don't stop. Never, never stop. Never completely stop. For example, I was doing like 5, 6 hours a day, and then suddenly I just stopped. And if you do martial arts, that's part of you, and you need it. And this energy will be in another place, and sometimes in the wrong place. So never, never stop. Never quit. Always. Doesn't matter if you're working like crazy, you have a wife and kids, and all those things. Find your time. You need that, right? So never stop. It's okay if you can do that like every day, but at least once a week or twice a week. Never stop. Try to keep it up. Right? And let me tell you something. Maybe when you came here, you saw Alexandre, the Japanese guy who works here. He is the big deal in Kendo.
Yes.
The sword. He's like a world champion, crazy stuff. He was national trainer of the Brazilian team. He always traveling, teaching people and working. He's one of the biggest graduations in the world of Kendo, and he's really really good on that thing. And he brings all this, you can see he brings all this stuff to the business with him, to the day by day, to the relationship with people. It's very, very pleasant to have. And then I would say, like, two of the directors on the company, they are martial artists. And I would say that makes huge difference on our results.
Fantastic. You probably know a thing or two about the internet. What would martial artists or practitioners of Qigong or other related disciplines, how would they be able to benefit from the availability of this amazing resource of the internet in general, and perhaps some specific resources that you can speak of that they could put to good use if they're starting their own business or want to build their business to a greater level?
Well, if you want to use the internet for your martial art thing, you have two ways, or two special things that you can do. One is access good content. So with the internet, you can find really, really good teachers, really good content. You can find good places to go and learn. So it's an awesome resources for you to find good stuff. A few years ago, it was impossible. You should have to travel to other country to have some access to different knowledge. Today, through the internet, you can do it. And if you have this kind of knowledge, if you know one or two things more and you want to teach, you can use the internet to have your own training with the videos and tutorials and questions and conferences. You can create your whole studio or your whole team and get your students on the internet. Believe it or not, I know a lot of people, especially with Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, we have a lot of people who are giving trainings through the internet, you know, and it's very effective. You pay a monthly fee, something like $50, for example, and you have access to very nice stuff from the black belts and all those things. It's very, very effective.
Very cool.
That's surprising to me because I have produced many online courses by myself and also with other masters because I interviewed a lot of masters on my talk show, and I've been doing this for 10 years. It's the number one podcast in the world on Qigong. And so what we do is we sometimes get together, do either summits of Qigong masters, or I interview a particular expert on their field of expertise and put out this type of online courses. But I always have this question in my mind, somewhere in the back of my mind. Is this going to be enough? Because in my mind, I still believe that it's so important to work with somebody face to face. I work with people from all over the world. I pioneered this whole profession of Qigong coaching, so I do coaching long distance by Skype or other videos channel. But there's always, I suspect, the first best option is to actually work with somebody face to face. But I guess working online, either as coach or as a creator of online courses, I guess it's the second best choice.
Well, it's something that you can start. You're gonna reach a lot of people. You're gonna have the opportunity to actually reach people and get a lot of students, a lot of people getting your content. And then I'm sure that eventually they will do anything they can or everything they can to meet you in person. You know, so because I'm studying with you like every day on your videos, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, 1 month, 2 months. After 3 months, you are my hero already. So I will say, man, I have to go and to check out this guy in person. I have to go to his gym. I have to see that in real life. So I think that could be a good start, and then eventually you're gonna get the opportunity to have this face to face with some students.
Right. Well, and you do have the platform for people to be able to put online courses and offer online courses to the public where they would be able to go through a series of videos or other training materials. Now, is this something that you notice martial artists actually do on Builderall platform?
Well, it's not very, very common because um, you will have to work a little bit more. You will have to do the videos, produce the videos, upload the videos. You know exactly what I'm saying, right? It's not that easy. It's not something like that. Hey, let's go, let's do this. No, you will have to prepare yourself and create your lessons, create your videos, edit your videos, upload your videos. And once you have everything online, you will have to do some advertising. You will have to find your clients, sell your product. So it's not easy, but it's not easy for you. It's not easy for anyone else. It's just not easy. Like anything is easy, right? It's not easy to become a black belt. But if you want to do it, you can do it. We have some jiu-jitsu coaches. We have some people who do capoeira. We have some people who do boxing, and they are creating some channels, some membership areas. They are getting a good money because it's all about technique, you know. And you know what? Today, we see a lot of fitness equipment that comes with videos, that comes with trainings and all those things. So I think like every day it will be more and more common to have the opportunity to learn with the big guys online, like every day. This is growing, and I'm telling you, Lama, you know, in the next few days, you will see a lot of devices. For example, there's something here in the United States that you can buy. The name is Mirror. Like it's a kind of a mirror that you put on your room, and then you have the coaches. You look to the mirror, and you see the coaches there. So you see your reflection,
So like a
and you see
TV
the
screen.
coaches. Right? Yes, exactly. And they are selling something like you can have the best coaches in the world teaching you how to do stuff. And you have boxing, you have like some not martial arts, but you have some there. But I'm sure that a lot of martial arts you could do that online. You could do that like in a distance. And I think the next few years, a lot of people will have the opportunity to train with the best in the world, especially because it's not about like just the movement itself. It's about everything, the way that you get this knowledge, the message, and the whole thing behind the movement that you are doing. It's not just something physical, right? Martial arts is way more than that, and you can transmit that through the internet.
I think just in a few years, or even sooner, we will have also a lot more virtual reality and alternate reality devices, such as glasses or goggles or what have you. And those are probably going to be cheaper and more accessible than the mirror. I'm familiar with the mirror technology, but it's like $1,500 to $3,000. I think the Oculus is going to drop down in price to maybe like $300 or $400, and maybe even below that eventually. So what we'll do is probably we'll have a lot of opportunities to have virtual reality training from some of the best masters.
I think so, man. I think this is actually a great opportunity for those who wanna be the first or start doing something because this is the future. This is going to happen, you know.
Yeah.
So you will have to experience the fight. You will have to experience like the face to face, but you don't have to do that every day, right? You can train by yourself like 5 days a week and have one day experience the real fight. But I think definitely, this is what's going to happen in a few years.
Well, and a lot of things that I teach also don't require somebody to punch. So if you practice Qigong, you don't really have to punch somebody or get punched by somebody. You can also work on your own energy awareness and body alignment and culture of movement. And many martial artists would also benefit a great deal from improving their own body alignment and their culture of movement and their energy awareness too. Plus also meditation and similar practices would be very easy to teach online like this. I would imagine that Builderall potentially would become a premier destination for people who want to experience this kind of learning. Do
I
you
hope
mind?
so.
Do you mind sharing with our listeners and viewers a little bit about what you're up to these days, and perhaps what's your forecast for the near future in terms of your business, in terms of your development as an entrepreneur, and how you grow yourself and your company?
Yeah. Well, on my point of view, I am passionate about digital marketing. And the way that things are going, I think the digital will be like bigger than the real world that we have. Like I think that the thing about the glasses and the virtual reality, it will go crazy or very very close to the crazy. And today, this is a reality right now. Like digital marketing is one of the unique possible ways to do marketing for the big companies, serious companies. Like it's all about attention. Where is the attention right now? Attention right now, it's here and it's on the desktops. If you are not connected with your phone, you are probably watching Netflix, or you are probably on your desktop, on your office, or you are driving. And even driving will be in computers in a few years. It's not going to be cars, it's going to be computers over wheels, right? So you're going to
Just
be
tell the car,
connected.
drive me to the store, and the car will just take you there.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So you're going to be connected all the time. And the technology will allow you to have more time so you can be connected more time. It's great, right? So I am very passionate about digital marketing and the way that things are going. I think this is going to impact every single business on the world, every single business, every single service provider, entrepreneurs, companies, students, coaches, no matter what you do, you will have to learn how to work with the digital. And I had this view a few years ago. We started to create this platform, and then this is what we are doing right now. Build It All is a digital marketing platform for you to bring your business online. So it doesn't matter if you want to do a website or a blog or videos or membership or coaching, or you want to work with social media, or you want to work with email marketing, browser notifications, apps. Doesn't matter how you want to have your online presence. We've built it all this platform that we built. We figured out a way to help you. Doesn't matter what you want to do, you're gonna find this on Build It Out. It's today's one of the biggest and most complete digital marketing platform in the world. Allows you to do anything you wanted, even in commerce or whatever it is. And we never stopped developing, we never stopped working. Actually, like I just said, the virtual reality is something it is already on our radar. We are already developing some experiments in Brazil for virtual reality for the small business, how the small business can actually use the virtual reality for their business and all those stuff. So never stops. It's a cool thing because it's never done. If you are working with the digital, you are doing something today with your one hand, and the other hand you are already doing something for tomorrow because it changes very fast. You have to be ahead. Just like I said, there is no place for the second one. You have to be ahead. You have to think fast. You have to do something better for the next. You have to work thinking about the next 2 years. It's crazy. And this is what we are doing now on Build It All. We are always thinking how businesses or service providers, entrepreneurs, they can benefit from the internet for the online environment to get more clients or to get more results or to do a better services or help more people. We are working that on the platform. So in July 2019, we're going to launch Build It All 3.0. Is the third version of our software with a lot more tools, a lot of more ideas to help the business do more stuff, even easier. And that's it. That's pretty much it.
Well, and since this uh, episode of our show is going to be broadcasted most likely right around that time, when Builderall 3.0 is getting launched or close to that time, most of the people who actually experience this episode will probably be able to already check out what is the 3.0 Builderall like. So where would they go to find out about it?
On 4th of July, it's going to be already there. You're going to have access to the newest tool and platform and very, very cool and nice stuff with the tools, with the trainings, tutorials, with a business opportunity inside the Build It Up, because, we are working with entrepreneurs online and they are using their platform to sell products and services and get some attention online. And then Build It Up itself is a very, very nice opportunity because the world is growing on this direction. So besides the whole everything that we have about the tools and the solutions for the small business, we also have a business opportunity for people who want to work online. You don't have a product, you don't have a service yet, you want to find something that you can promote and make some money and learn eventually to create your own online agency or something like that. Build It Up has a business opportunity itself. It's very, very nice for you to take some time and check it out.
I'll put the link, probably with my own affiliate code in it, below this video, so everyone who watches this video would be able to find out about this amazing opportunity. I thoroughly enjoyed myself as a user and also as an ambassador. And that's something that I wanted to check with you before we wrap up our interview. What are your final words of wisdom, if you will, to those people who are either practicing martial arts or perhaps who haven't practiced martial arts, but they are doing some other disciplines or practices, and perhaps you have something that would inspire or encourage them?
Well, if you are doing martial arts, again, my advice for you is never stop. Doesn't matter how old or tired or how much you are working, never, never stop. Like, because, man, I'm telling you, it's hard to come back. I stopped it for like 5 or 6 years. Now I'm coming back, and man, it's not easy, but I'm doing great actually. So never stop because it's hard, and you need that. Your body, your mind, your spirit, you need that. You need to feel like a fighter. That's something that only martial artists know what feels like. So don't quit. Don't take this from yourself. Like, you should respect your spirit. You should respect your soul and keep doing. And if you are not doing any martial arts, it's okay, but you should try. You should find something that you like. You have a lot of different styles, a lot of different martial arts. Some of martial arts you have some punches, some of martial arts you don't. There's something's more soft, but I think it's a way of living. I think it's very, very nice for your spirit, your soul, to build a character, to build actually your body and working with energy. So you should try. You should give a shot. I'm kind of suspect to do this kind of advertisement because for me it's actually a way of living, but I love it. I can't see myself without this kind of experience. I don't know if I would be or what I would be if I never get involved with that. So if you are doing martial arts, keep doing, never quit. Don't allow yourself to stop, right? You have the right to put this as something that you gotta do because you need it. And if you're not doing, try to start. Try to find a very, very nice place. Do some online research before. Make sure you are going to a right place with a good reputation and give it a try. Give it a try. I'm sure it's going to change the whole way that you deal with problems and challenges and family, kids, business, and everything.
Absolutely. I second that opinion. Well, thank you so much, Erick, for sharing about yourself and about your experience as an entrepreneur, as a martial artist, And I want to remind our viewers that you just enjoyed the interview with Erick Salgado on the talk show The Secrets of Qigong Masters, brought to you by Academy of Qidao, the first and only school in the world offering professional education in Tai Chi and Qigong coaching. To find out about Qigong coaching programs and how you too can become a certified Qigong or Tai Chi coach, please go to qigongcoaching.com. This show is also brought to you by Master Magazine, sponsoring summits of Qigong Masters that bring to you some of the top experts in Qigong and related disciplines in America. Please go to qigongmasters.com to enjoy interviews with them.